Greetings, Dr. Dominique Reese here. I'm the owner of Reese Financial Services, where I'm the chief financial coach and planner. And Tuesday today. And today's tip is stop being broke-minded. And I thought this would be an awesome topic for today because, one, there's a lot going on financially. And this is a time where I'm finding there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of worry, and there's a lot of being stuck. And what motivated me, I should say, to focus on this topic today is because I'm actually having a lot of conversations right now. And that's a great thing. That means people are reaching out. So that's a great step. That's a great action to be doing right now, is to be reaching out for support that you may need financially. However, this is where the coaching, this is where the strategy comes into play when you're reaching out for help. Or maybe you haven't reached out for help yet and you're just simply wondering what you should do, what kind of help you might need financially. And because there is a lot of uncertainty, you may not know what's next. So I understand that. Part of this journey in seeking the support, in seeking the strategy, in seeking the solution is going to be a mindset shift. At least if you ever work with me, it's going to start there. So I wanted to hone in on this mindset piece because it's very critical that you understand how your mindset is playing a role in what you're currently living in financially. And even if you don't understand it now, you don't think the two are connected, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some insight as to how that happens, how your mindset impacts the outcomes you're currently experiencing in your financial life. So, here we go. First of all, being broke-minded is a mindset and it's a temporary state. Being broke itself is not the worst thing, right? Like plenty of people are broke. What does that really mean? That means you're probably living paycheck to paycheck. That means you don't have much savings to fall back on in the event of an unexpected expense. That means you may have bad spending behaviors or bad financial behaviors where you're not prioritizing. Being broke can mean many things, but overall, it's a financial state. It's a temporary financial state, and it's one that you don't have to remain in. So let's just level set with that. It's temporary. And it is a financial state that many people find themselves in and out of. There could be seasons of being broke. I have been broke plenty of times. I have been not broke plenty of times. I have gone back and forth. So I speak from experience when I say it. And it is a state that we want to stay out of, right? Ideally, you don't want to stay in being broke. And it's also a temporary one. I keep coming back to that because I find a lot of times people are permanently living lives as if they're going to be broke for the rest of their lives. And that's part of the mindset shift. Mindset plus behavior equals outcome. So if you're constantly in a broke mindset, that means you're going to do things behaviorally that support being broke, which then means the outcomes you're going to see are going to reflect being broke, living broke. Okay. So let's level set with what being broke might look like. It's those things. But here's really where the language of being broke can be so detrimental because it's so common to use this language. So if you're not sure you're broke or not, or if you're living with a broke minded mindset, I'm going to give you three statements that I tend to hear over and over again as a financial professional that immediately let me know where someone's mindset is. First statement is the when then statement. When I do this, then I will do that. When this happens, then I will be able to do this. When then. Next statement, the if then statement. If I do this, then I will do that. If this happens this way, then I will be able to do that. Third statement is the once then statement. Once I'm able to do that, then I'll be able to do this. Once that happens, then I'll be able to make this happen. You get my drift? So we've got the when then statement, the if then statement, the once then statement. These statements have something in common. And that thing is that everything is dependent on something else happening. So the actions that you actually want to take, which are in the then part of the statement, those actions can't happen unless something else happens. That is a sign that you're living with a broke mind. And part of that is because you have to see it to believe it. You have little faith in what you're doing. You don't believe in yourself. Maybe your value or your worth is low. And this is not to be critical. This is just to highlight what the facts are. So when you recognize these things, these behaviors, this language in yourself, take a look at the outcomes that you're getting. And if you see any correlation between the two, that's the magic. That's how you know, okay, I got to switch some things up. And not only just switching things up with what you say, but what you think, because your words start in the mind. So that's why mindset is so important, because if you think a certain way, if you think, oh, I can't pay off that debt until I get this raise. What is so detrimental to that about that is that, first of all, you don't control whether you get the raise or not. That is nothing you control. So we don't set goals around things we don't control. You may never get the raise. So does that mean you'll never pay the debt? Technically, it does. If I don't get the raise, I don't pay the debt. What's the outcome? You stay in debt. Yet, what are you always saying? I can't wait till I pay this debt off. I want to be debt free. I want to be able to do more, but I have this debt. You see, there's no alignment there. How you think about it and what you do about it are the reasons why you have that outcome. If you don't want that outcome, then you have to shift, you have to change, starting with the mindset, and then your behavior will support the mindset. The same way it's supporting the mindset now. It's just not the mindset you want. So, those statements tend to highlight that everything you're doing financially is dependent upon something else happening. And what's even more detrimental is if you do not control that if part, then the then part will never come to fruition. So you can't continue to operate with if then statements, when then statements, or once then statements. They will kill, as I call them. And a lot of times clients are interested, right? They want the support because they know they need it. They know that something is off and they want to see some changes, whatever that is. An increase in savings, budgeting, improving your credit, getting rid of the debt, increasing their income, working on their retirement, starting that business, purchasing a home, whatever that might look like, whatever the goal is. They know they're not where they want to be. So they have that much interest in this process. And we all know nothing is free, right? So when you hop on a call with a professional, you go to a business, you're hungry, you know for the most part you're going to have to pay some money. So that's not anything new, right? You know that. You know there's going to be a fee. So when you get on the line for the support you say you need, and you know it's going to cost you something, it is so very important that you stay open to what you don't know, what might be unfamiliar, and what may make you a little uncomfortable. Because some of the numbers you're going to hear for the support that you need may not be what you thought. But if you've never done it before, how would you know otherwise, right? So part of this for me as a professional, but as well as for anyone who's in this space where you know you need the support, you know it's going to cost you, and you're just not sure. And you're not sure for some of these reasons. So maybe you have a job now, especially in this environment, job security is important. But again, you don't control it. Technically, right? Technically, you don't control if you're going to have your job or not. So we're not going to set goals around things we don't control. What we're going to do, you're going to keep going to work. And if you find out otherwise, then you'll do something about it then. But you don't control whether or not you keep the job. So, first thing, you have a job now, you have money coming in now. And you say, okay, well, I'm fine, but I want to work on these things. Well, that's already in conflict. How can you be fine and you still have things to work on? Okay. Mindset. Um, but then you hear how much it is and you say, okay, well, I got to think about it. What is there to think about? Well, what I usually hear is, well, I got to make sure that I can afford it, because if I lose my job, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. Okay, I get that. However, if you lose your job, you're actually going to be in a worse financial position unless you get another job right away. So, this support that you're trying to get now, while you've already identified a need for the support, is going to become even more important to have if you lose your job. However, let's just focus on the language. Look at what you're preparing for. Look at what you're setting yourself up for. I'm not sure about getting financial help right now because I may lose my job. Subconsciously, you're training your mind for the event of losing your job, rather than having a motivating, positive mindset that says, while I don't control if I keep my job or not, I know I need the support to work on my financial foundation. So I'm going to get the support. And if in the event that I don't have a job in the future, I'm getting the support that'll help me sustain myself while I don't have that job. Now, you don't have to use my language, but that's the idea. The idea is that you shift your mindset from focusing on the exact thing you don't want to happen to the thing that you would like to see happen. I truly believe that we speak our existence. So when you're preparing subconsciously for a layoff that you don't know is coming or not, but you're preparing for it, guess what's going to show up? A layoff. And now you're even in a more dire situation for financial support, for financial guidance, because you don't have the same income. Income is now gone down. So, how do I maximize my resources when I have less to work with? It would have been great to have that guidance before, to start saving before, right? Because now I would have had savings to also help support me while I don't have this job. So you can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen. Lots of things are out of your control. However, you cannot create goals around things that you don't control, let alone goals that you don't even want to actually happen. So those are all the elements of operating with a broke mindset that is way more permanent than it needs to be. It's taking control of how you even view what you're capable of. So, another example is with investing. And I mean investing in multiple things, not just investing in the stock market. It could be investing in yourself, it could be investing in your craft, in your skill, but investments require resources, right? So you can't invest with nothing. And by resources, I mean time, energy, and money. So any of those things, those are currency. Energy is currency, time is currency, money is currency. So if you're going to invest in anything, you need one of those three things or all three. And when it comes to an investment, again, you know you've got to put something in order to get something out. So a lot of times people say, "Well, I'm not sure I could take that on. That's a bit much for me." And I understand there's one thing of something being out of your budget, and then there's another of you just not feeling comfortable with it because you're not sure. So the flip side of that is simply understanding you're already in a risky situation. Most times people are taking on risks that they actually can't afford. For example, you may make $3,500 to $4,000 a month. Let's just say you make 3 grand. We'll go there. You make 3 grand a month and you don't have very much savings. You have little savings, and you know you need to improve that. You know you need to improve your budgeting. You know you need to improve your credit. You know you have some debt you want to get rid of. And you have a job. And in this environment, you're not sure if you're going to have a job in the future. Anything can happen. You reach out for some help. And then you decide, well, if I put money into this, then I'm not going to have money to do the other things that I would want to do to maintain my lifestyle. Or I won't have money in case something happens. It's like, okay, well, let's say something does happen. You're going to have the same amount of money, right? Unless you have more money coming in than you expect, you're going to be working with the same exact resources. And now that something has happened, you're no more prepared for that thing than you were when you turned down the support. Investing in yourself is that it's an investment. It requires you to take on the risk of putting some energies into something that you may not have never done before, but expecting a return. So it's not just money spent. Like when you go, I'll use this very frivolous example, but you understand. You go to the ice cream truck, right? And you spend on anything in the ice cream truck. The minute you give that money to the man behind the counter, it's gone. There's no investment there. You're going to get your product, you're going to eat your product, and then it's gone, right? That is spending. It's just gone. Investments have a return, they give you something back. So when you are going to invest in yourself through someone else, whether it be for school, whether it be hiring a coach, whether it be starting a business, when you're reaching out for support to do something, that is an investment because you're investing in yourself through someone else so that you can then come out with a return. Whether that return is actually starting your business, getting your business set up with your state, that coach might help you do that. Whether it's putting a budget and debt reduction strategy in place, that financial professional is going to help you do that. Whether it's going back to school, the teacher is going to teach you what you need to know so you can graduate and then go and do the thing that you wanted to do. These are returns on your investment. It's not just money spent and that's gone. So you should have some expectation of getting something back. When we're out being broke-minded, we're just out spending. We're not investing in anything for the most part. You spend, it's gone, you don't see it. No evidence of even having it. So these are the behaviors and the mindsets that you want to shift out of if you find you're operating with them. And it's necessary if you want to have more than what you have. And in this environment, you have an awesome opportunity because everything is slowing down. What goes up must come down. So a lot of things that have been going up and that have been prohibitive to you are now accessible to you. Certain stocks have fallen. Now you can afford to invest. Housing costs are going to go down. Educational costs are going to go down. People are having their credit card payments suspended for 1 to 3 months. So now you get a break. You get a break on paying certain expenses. You have an opportunity to save. You're not out in the world as much, so you're spending less on gas. Oil prices are going down. You're spending less in, well, maybe not less in the grocery stores, given that we're stocking up. So that may be an area you actually see an increase, but you're not out shopping like you used to. And even if you're shopping online, you're not able to get your products and services as quickly. So you're thinking twice about purchasing online. And when you do, it's probably only for the essentials because you don't want to wait that long. So ultimately, a lot of things are being slowed down. You have more time. You can focus. You can rest. You can create some energy around putting energy into something that you've been putting off. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to get in the know about your financial life, your financial foundation, identifying those gaps, identifying the things that you want to work on, and begin to shift your mindset because now you have an opportunity to let it all go. Certain things just don't cost you right now. You cannot pay a bill and not be penalized. That's an opportunity. That money you would have paid should be socked right into your savings account right now. This is the time. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope that it has shed some light around what it means to be broke. And now I want to tell you how you can stop being broke. What does it look like to come out of being broke-minded? Well, one thing. One thing is required. And out of this one thing, you'll do other things. That one thing is commitment. Commitment is a very different thing than a desire or a want. Commitment requires decisions. So let's say you go get some support. You want to work out. You want to find a trainer, right? What's the point of going to talk to the trainer if you're not going to commit to working with the trainer when you go talk to them? Yes, you could be shopping around. That's good. Always interview at least 3 professionals. But your mindset is that you're going to make a decision to work with one of them after you're done interviewing. It's not, oh, I'm going to see. I'm going to see. No, you're not going to see. What is that? A waste of time and energy for both people. You need to make a decision that after I have this consultation with 3 professionals or this professional, whatever that is, I'm going to make a decision to work with one of them. Once you make a decision, now you're committed. Once you commit to something, now you're in the process of getting results. Decisions require action. So you make the decision that I am going to work with this professional to help me with X, Y, and Z. And once you make the decision, now you have to take the action. Submit your payment, get that deposit in, complete your assessment, follow up with them according to their system. Take action. Don't sit on it. Don't let the fear set in. Don't let the unknown set in. Don't let the discomfort set in. Take action. Whatever that next immediate step is, take it. You're one step closer to getting the results that you have been seeking. And then lastly, action gets results. So you've made the decision, you've taken the action, now you can see the result. Now you've got a professional supporting you. When before it was all you. It was a solo walk. Now you have someone to bounce your ideas off of. Before it was just you in your head. Now you have someone to guide you in the murky waters of whatever you were managing. Now you have more clarity. You have understanding. Your confidence might even boost. You have support. So I encourage you to commit. Your financial life will be different once you commit that you will allow it to be, that you're going to make decisions, that you're going to take action, and that you're going to get results. So, how can you do that with me? Well, you can do that in several ways. One, like and subscribe to this video. Because if you're not in a position to afford to work with a professional, then these types of trainings are very helpful. You can get the trainings you need for free to do whatever you can on your own. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you can request and apply for a Master My Money discovery session. And that's where I take 30 minutes out of my calendar to talk to you about what's going on in your financial life. I listen to what's going on. We have a conversation. And then I talk to you about how I may be able to support you. And if I am able to support you, because I can't help everyone, but if I am able to help you, then I will make a recommendation on what that looks like. After I make that recommendation, we'll talk about what it looks like to become a client and what next steps would be. So that's what happens in the Master My Money discovery session. We discover if we are a good fit for each other, and if so, what it would look like to move forward. So that's the second way. The third way is to email me. Shoot me an email at dominique@reesefinancialservices.com. You can always email me questions. I'd love to be a resource. And then I'll also drop the Master My Money Mindset Toolkit. This is an absolutely free toolkit that will help you to begin to shift your mindset around your money. So, exactly the things that we were talking about today: how to identify where you are currently with your mindset, and then how you may want to shift that, how you know certain things just aren't serving you, and you're ready for that change. You're ready for the shift. You just don't have the tools to help you get there. This toolkit will do exactly that. So, I hope that you would take action on one of those three things. Again, please like and share this video. Share with someone who you think could benefit from it. The other thing is, shoot me an email and request a Mastermind Money discovery session. Lastly, you can request the Mastermind Money Mindset Toolkit and get to work right now. So I will put those links at the bottom of this video, and I look forward to serving you in the future. Take care, stay healthy. Dr. Dominique, peace.